Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the third day of Adobe Live, hanging out here. I'm your host, Evan Abrams, and I'm joined by XayLi Barclay. Welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, thank you, Evan. I'm so happy to be here. I'm super excited for today.
Oh, me too. Today, we're going to be seeing you edit in Premiere Rush. We're going to be talking about content creation. You are a video content creator coach. You teach people how to make excellent courses. So
Yes.
maybe before we jump in, just tell the folks a little bit about yourself and what you do before we dive into some housekeeping around here.
Sure. Well, as Evan said, I'm XayLi Barclay. So excited to be here. I am a video content creation coach, and I'm also a Thinkific expert. So I have that sweet spot of really helping people who are online course creators or who are probably just selling digital services and products to really get confident on camera. And so what we're going to be covering today is some basic editing, because a lot of times for that audience, we want them to focus more on their presence and being able to sell and present themselves on camera. So we want editing to be super easy and streamlined. And so we're diving into Rush today, which is absolutely awesome for creating high quality content, but with that, streamlined process.
Awesome. Well, that's good because I could use more video presence as well. So we may be speaking a lot about that, but encourage people in the chat to come at us with your questions, get at us with anything you want us to focus on or concerns. If anyone out there is making course content, ask questions. I'll try to interpret them as best I can. And this is one stream of many today. We have a rich, full day of activities here on the Adobe Live. We've got a lot of things coming up, a lot of great scheduled things. If we let's get that schedule up in front of folks so we can enjoy seeing that. But because after this, we're going to have a whole bunch of great things. If you check it down bottom, if you're watching on Behance, you can see that we've got Illustrator Creative Challenge coming up after this, talk about custom type. Then we've got Ashley Armstrong coming up after that, where we're going to have some wonderful designing. I think the schedule is accurate because we're at 9:30. We've got Julia coming up next. Then we've got Ashley Armstrong. We've got XD Daily Creative Challenge. Then we've got Draw Along with Kyle T. Webster. Love that guy. And then finally a design off at the end of the day. We don't usually have to pit creatives against each other, but don't worry. This is all positive. It's all good. So stick with us for the day. And we talk about daily creative challenges. We're going to be reviewing the video daily creative challenge in about 90 minutes. So we're going to see people's editing and repurposing a video into a social media format. So we're going to have some tips. We're going to have hopefully some critique for y'all to improve, because I don't know, as you're doing courses, I imagine that a lot of people are delivering on mobile now. We're delivering more on Instagram. So
yeah, especially for the marketing aspect of it all, because that's where our audiences are. So being able to even create video ads for Facebook or, things like that, we want to be able to do that. So yes, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, we're taking people into the future of editing here. So,
yes.
And speaking of, what are you going to be working on today? Let's have a look at your screen and see what we're doing.
Yeah. Today we are actually working on, it's a segment of or a lesson inside of an online course where I'm teaching video. So this video is based on creating talking head videos. So inside of it, I'm going to be covering lighting and all that good stuff, but I'm actually editing it with you guys today. So going through laying audio and, adding media and all of that fun stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So yeah, like I said, folks, people in the chat, if you're watching us on the YouTube, thank you. But we can only see your chat on Behance, so only ask your questions there. We got a lot of moderators hanging out, keeping things going. So shout out to the moderators. It looks like who's moderating here? Oh, I see Sam in the chat. We got Cody Bear hanging out. But everyone in the chat, let us know who you are, where you're from, what you do. We'd love to know, like, what content would you like to be making? Because it's all about you, the audience. So we do it for the fans. So. Let's dive into your process, though. I'd love to know, we're picking up the project here. You've got some files on the timeline, but talk us through where the project started and where we're going, and let's get there.
Yeah. So when I'm creating online courses or lessons within online courses, they're pretty simple. So it's not a lot of fancy stuff going on, but you also want to be interesting. So you keep your students excitement, or you keep them engaged so that they're moving through that content, and so that you have higher retention rates, completion rates, and that just adds to more sales later on because you have more testimonials and more results, right? So when creating an online course video, that simplicity really matters. And you don't want your video to be too long, because you wouldn't sit and look at an hour video inside of a full online course, would you, Evan?
Well, oh boy. I would
I put you on the
love to
spot
know.
there?
So I make an amount of tutorial content, but so where is the sweet spot, right? Where do we, for brevity and depth of content?
Well, I like to say as long as it takes to get the point across, right? Okay. So today within this video, we are covering talking heads. So I did cover, the tools that you need. I covered an easy video setup. We're at home. And so most of us are creating in smaller spaces, right? So just maximizing that smaller space, or even if you're not creating in smaller spaces, what happens is that you may not have all the money to actually hire a full team and a full crew. So just some simple tips so that you're able to just create something simple. Perfect. And effective. Sure. But yes, as long as it takes to solve the problem. And I like to say a good sweet spot, 7 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. But yes.
I'm just going to write that down real quick here.
I'm sure you have it all fine.
But yeah. I mean, I fall into tangents and stuff all the time. So while you're getting set up over there, I want to say a shout out to people hanging out in the chat with us. We got Reverb Mike out here. We got Brooke Perryman from North Carolina. Got Sandra from Chicago. Phil from Boise, Idaho. Hello. Oh, here we go. Al from Quito, Ecuador. People from all over the world.
Oh wow!
Coming and hanging out with us. We have people from all over the place. That's fantastic. Pretty cool. So yeah, take us into it. Let's so
the first thing that I'm laying down here is audio, because what I did was I based this video basically on the audio, right? So I'm laying down that audio, and then we're gonna lay video over it based on what I say. Right. So I have all of that content that I would be adding within the upper tracks, whether it's B-roll or whether it's a base video that I'm layering. So, but it's all in relation to what I'm saying. So I'm just trimming all of that. I'm sure I have some mistakes in there that I would have to split and cut out. Yes. So that's what we're walking through right now.
And do you prefer to do scripted? So all of this is very carefully plotted before we've even started?
That is such a good question. Yes, I prefer to plan my lessons out so that I like having a lesson objective. So I know where that student should be by the time they're done looking at it, just so that I know they're moving forward towards the end of the course, or, even having them achieve that course objective. What's the reason that they're here? So your lessons, yes, I would prefer if your lessons are scripted. I like to say, even when you first start, do something to get them excited or get them paying attention. And so it's funny because we were laughing at this earlier where I was talking, but I was drinking water. And I actually leave that in the video to show relatability. Hey, you can be relaxed. It's an online course, but we're not all, and that's just my personality and brand as well. Just be comfortable and just, be yourself. And so I'm quirky like that. So I left that kind of content in there. But it helps that it kind of grabs that person, even though you're hearing my voice.
A good way that can result in much more engagement and interaction from your student.
Because Evan was laughing earlier.
I love comedy and education. I think it's really important to engage people with something light, right?
Yes, exactly. So, and so in doing that, so you hook them in, and then I believe in really giving a preface of what they're going to learn. We're going to cover X, Y, Z. And I like to say, especially in your online course lessons, stick to 3 to 5 points. so that you're not going over that number that we spoke about, or those numbers that we spoke about earlier. You know, because I can sit and talk about video content forever, right? I can stay on here with you guys forever. But what we don't want to do is bore our student as well. So that's another thing. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm seeing you've got audio down on the timeline. Are these all separate files? How did we bring them into Rush in the first place?
Yeah. So it's so cool because you're able to actually add voiceover within Rush, right? Which is so cool because I could have just dropped these clips in and did this right here. But because I recorded it first and I chopped it up, I'm actually layering, like I said, with that media instead. So I'm kind of doing it the opposite. I never follow rules and I never do things the way that they're supposed to be done. But I promise you, it's going to be fun. Yeah. Right. But yes, you're also able to just add your media as well. So you're able to, well, this is starting a new project, but sorry, Evan, we have it right here. So I have all of my stuff. So let's say I want to, and I'll be going into that in a little bit, so I've already added my audio and I kind of have things organized. So I know that this is a full talking head video. So I have my body. So I actually record in this format as well. So I record and I make sure I record my intro. Like you said before, I scripted. So I knew what I wanted to cover within the body of my video. And I have that separately just for organization. And then I know what my outro is about, right? That way I can just pull whatever I need in. And so I just click it, and what you click gets highlighted. So you can see that it's getting highlighted here, and I would drop those things in if I was going to use that right now. Awesome. Right? So, and I'll be doing some of that. I'll be pulling in some stuff as we move along. But yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, just to remind people in the chat, this is Premiere Rush. There is, of course, Premiere Pro. You use both in your workflows, yeah?
I do, but I like teaching Rush because of how streamlined it is. And my students usually are not video pros. And so they are looking for a program that gives that high quality feel, but also has all of the elements just at their fingertips. And that's kind of what I like about Rush.
Perfect, yeah. So there's someone in the chat asking, why would you use Rush over Premiere Pro?
I know, right? Yes, but I think it's based on your audience. And so because it's kind of what I teach, yes, and trust me, I probably get laughed at, but my students enjoy learning simpler systems and then graduating onto. And like I said before, a lot of times as a creative, we get so caught up in our creative processes that we forget about selling. Right? We forget about marketing. And so the thing is that if you're a beginner who's in the course creation space, you probably don't have money to hire out and hire someone to create your content. And so what's going to happen is that you're going to have to learn some simple skills. And we don't want to spend months learning something that is not directly connected to what you're selling. So that's really why. So my audience is beginners. And so, yes. So
awesome. And it's great for people starting out. Like people will, they get the concepts of J cuts, L cuts. Once you got that, you can move on with it. So
exactly. And I also like how on top of being streamlined, being that you could just grab clips and things from your phone, marketing your course, you're going to be on social media and you're going to want to do things quickly. I'm always on the go. So being able to do that is definitely a plus as well. Create ads or create stories quickly or whatever you want to, yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's get back into it here. I don't want to take us too far, but when you ask questions in the chat, we get to them. So.
No, I love it. I love questions. So if you have questions, definitely ask them. So this is my intro, and what I'm doing now is just
organizing. I am back again, and we are talking head videos.
Right. So I'm sharing what we're talking about within this video.
So this type of video is definitely the hardest one.
And what I want to do is make sure that I'm catching exactly what I want to catch, obviously, within this. So let me see. Like I said, I want to be engaging at the beginning, and then dive into, and I might even put this, move this around a bit. So obviously scrubbing to find what I want. And maybe I add transitions after I feel like everything looks good. One thing I also did as well was removed audio from these clips because, like I said, I did it with the concept of more of B-roll than because I had that audio and I wanted to layer on that. So most of my clips, they were actually B-roll, right? So we're kind of gonna go through them right now. So I'm gonna start adding body. So this is part 1. So my intro is already there. I'm just going to kind of trim these guys down, move them around. I love that in Rush, the clips are magnetic. So they kind of are glued to each other in a bit of a way. It feels like that. Even when you're scrolling, it feels like it's being attached like a magnet.
You get that, right? You get that kind of, I don't know, like we talk about like a feel in apps.
Sometimes. Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. So that is pretty cool. Right. So I'm just trimming down. Sorry.
Perfect. Because we can see in the waveform, right? Like, what are you looking for when you're doing these trims?
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So I am actually looking for where there's dead audio, and I don't use techie terms either. So Evan is the guy for that. So Evan will be guiding us through that.
Yeah. I'll come in and I'll have some
yes,
techno babble.
There you go. We need it. Right. I
don't know if anybody ever really needs too many.
I feel like that, but I don't want to be, like I genuinely don't feel that way. I feel like the more that we're able to easily explain things, I feel like when we get too techie and too much jargon, like I said, my audience is beginners as well. So,
Yeah, it's interesting the nomenclature that, that we use to try to find our problem areas. Yes. I find people are asking about cutting when they might mean trimming, but it doesn't matter.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Ooh, Evan, you know what? We're friends now.
Yeah, we get it. Awesome. Right. So talk me through what you're doing next.
Yeah, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm in part 1, which is your video setup. So what I'm gonna do is just drag these things over so I know exactly. So in the first part of it, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add. So we spoke about that earlier as well, right? And so what I'm gonna do is make sure, and that obviously went in the wrong place. I'm going to extract that audio, right? Because we don't want that audio there again. I just had another clip go in the wrong, no, I think, okay, yeah, this is it. This guy, right? And I'm trying to talk and concentrate at the same time.
One of the things people don't appreciate is how much mental concentration it takes to do editing.
It does. I think people don't realize that. Like, it's so funny on YouTube, people will be like, when is the next video? And I'm like, do you want to edit this thing?
Well, it's a lot of lining stuff up, a lot of making minute by minute choices. Of where
like
goes what.
Exactly. Or even simple things like you said before, the waveforms and such, looking at those, even if you're syncing audio, making sure that that in itself is a thing as well, Luckily, Adobe has ways of making those things so much easier. Right. So I'm going to go in here. Let me see. And I'm going to take the volume off of that clip that way. And I can share what that's like.
Hopefully it can give you an idea of what would work really well for you.
It's so crazy. 2 years ago, I got this really beautiful office space, and I did not realize that having glass, so it had two beautiful glass uh, with ceiling to floor windows, and I was so excited. And then I started recording video, and I was like, wait, what's that? That's this
as well. This is really all about testing.
Right. So that sound, glass is no good for, and I had to learn that the hard way because yes. But
the acoustics of spaces.
Exactly. Yes, that was such a learning experience. Like you lock yourself into a lease and you're like, wait, what's happening here? So
yeah, by the way, you will hear your neighbors and
yes, exactly. All of that stuff. So we're gonna remove that so that we don't hear it. But what we do hear is me talking.
Hopefully it can give you an idea of, I've tested. Hopefully it can give you an idea of what would work really well.
You see, I made a mistake there. So we're gonna go in and correct that later on. When I'm recording audio, if I'm in the zone, I don't necessarily stop. I rather edit out whatever mistake I made. And I also like taking a deep breath. So I'll take a deep breath and say 1, 2, and then I'll start back. That way I have room to cut that audio off. Or even if I make a mistake while on camera, I'll do the same thing. That way I can just jump back into talking. And when I edit it, it seems like the mistake never happened, which is why people think I am so good at video, but the editing is what is,
no teleprompter required.
No, exactly.
She's doing 5 minutes of memorized lines.
But yes, so that way we don't have that problem, right? And so we're gonna go back out again. We're gonna head back into body, and I have my B-roll folder, but I'm gonna lay the foundational videos first. Right. And I'm putting these in, but it may not even be in the right place. So we're going to organize this after because some of them might be longer or shorter, or I'll have to figure out exactly what goes where and where goes what.
Awesome.
But yes.
All right.
Right. We're going to add these.
And someone was asking in the chat, they were asking about like the various sort of tracks and rows that you have to play with. We're seeing like three audio, 4 video. Is that what we have to deal with?
Sorry?
So just in terms of like the amount of space in Rush that we have to like lay out audio tracks, lay out video tracks.
Yes.
It's not as many as Premiere, but.
No, it's not. But like I said, like for me, what I would want here is having that audio track, having a foundational video track, and then having a track for B-roll. So, not too many things going on because of the audience that I serve. Perfect.
Also, hopefully that, and people have been asking, when are we going to get 20 more tracks or however many tracks in Rush? Like, well, it's a simpler that would defeat the purpose of a trimmed down app.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just cool to have, yes, we could have improvements as well. Don't get me wrong. But also when we think about what something is specifically for, like for me, I know my audience and I know they're not going to sit down and learn like really in-depth, heavy editing. And I don't want them to, because I want them to be focused on the selling and serving aspects of video content creation. So just understanding that is huge for me. Like,
focus on the content.
Yes, exactly. Because we get caught up in the trappings of things, and it never, we just end up in the trappings of things, and we never end up selling. And that's something that happened to me in the beginning of my product creation journey. I would get, because I love this kind of stuff, so I would get so caught up in the creation of it all that I would forget about the selling aspect and actually making money as a business. right? Yeah, let me know in the comments if that's you. Like, you get so caught up in the creation aspect of it that you forget to sell what you're creating, right? So that's a thing, and that's something that I learned. So I try to steer my audience away from it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I fall into that trap all the time. That things need to be done; they don't need to be perfect. Sometimes.
Exactly. Yes, that's what it is. So that is a thing as well.
I love these title cards that you're bringing in.
Thank you.
Are these? Did you make these in Illustrator? Where do these come from?
I made these in Photoshop.
Okay.
And so I just added them. I add them in place of just to let you know, hey, we're moving into something new. So it's like you cut your lessons in a way where your audience realizes, okay, so we're moving on to something new. And the reason why I put it in a visual aspect as well, and so just announcing in audio, is that, sometimes someone is listening to something or watch it, they're doing both things, but you want to appease both visual and audio. So even though I'm saying it, we're walking into it as well with that visual. Right.
Perfect. Because we've got a question in the chat. Noor is asking about sort of adding texts, adding transitions, adding more graphical elements in Rush. That might be a day 2 thing.
It might be a day 2 thing, but you definitely can. And it's simple and seamless, which is what I love. Again, like I said, I want to make sure that we're not getting caught up in the trappings of it all. It's funny because this is the thing. I'm a video coach, so I do go a bit harder with my content as in quality. But if you are a fitness coach that's working with me on presenting yourself on camera, your main goal is not to have the most insane video ever. Your main goal is to really help people understand that you can create a transformation for someone else, especially when it comes to online courses, right? So, yeah. Yeah,
that level of polish elevates whatever thing people are.
That is so true. Yes.
This is why I wore a collared shirt today. So.
Sorry?
This is why I wore a collared shirt today. Trying to elevate my own look.
You could have told me, Evan. I would have gotten dressed up here. But yeah.
No, you're looking professional every day. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But yes,
So what are you up to now? Talk us through where you're at and what we're doing.
So I am just finishing adding all of those elements. And then what I'm going to do is organize that audio, because you can see that my audio, because my video clips are a bit longer, everything is getting mismatched, right? So we have audio all the way here. So we're going to be able to pull all of that in after. Right.
Awesome.
So, like I said, I'm having a bit of a hard time concentrating and talking, but if you guys ask questions, I can stop and answer.
We've got a couple coming in.
Okay.
So let's see. Who to get to first? Danielle Pollard has a more practical question about lights and recording devices. So, do you have any recommendations for? I mean, some of the B-roll has wonderful microphones and lights.
Yeah,
and stuff,
right. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head, Danielle. So I feel like when you are recording video content, one thing, there are a few things that you cannot, and I'm probably biased, like you need everything, but you want to have good lighting. Right. And so I spoke about that. I spoke about artificial lighting and natural lighting and the difference. Like I said, got an amazing office space with lots of natural light. And then I started chasing that light, because if I got into the office too late, I would have to, like Evan said, say my 5-minute scripts with no
You're going to need to get it in one, because that light is going to be 5 degrees away soon.
Exactly. So that was one thing. And then when we think about clouds and such moving while you're recording, I started getting different temperatures. So it's funny because also within being an influencer, I believe that everyone is an influencer. What started happening was influencers love natural light. So I moved from New York City where we had no natural light, right? To Dallas, Texas, where there was lots of sunshine and natural light. And then I had to learn natural light lessons. Like, hey, you're gonna have 5 different temperatures in one video, right? And it's gonna take longer in post to kind of level that off. So that was one thing. So I would say if you're starting off, artificial light is better because you would have less to try to do. The next thing is a tripod. So you can see here, I'm an advocate for using what you have, which is also why I love Rush, because you're able to record and you're able to record in app, especially if you have your phone, and then the cloud. Make sure that you have that if you get onto your laptop or onto your iPad, right?
That's true, because you're working off of a laptop right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But this is on tablets. This is on phones.
Yes. So that's why I love it. Like I said, beginners may not have all that heavy duty equipment. So if you have a ring light and you have your phone and you have a phone bracket, which is what I'm showing here, you're able to listen, tripods are everything. So make sure that you have a tripod so that you have a stable shot. You don't want to be teaching an online course and moving around. I remember the first time I trusted my hand, I didn't realize that my hand shook that much.
You never trust it again. That's
ever. Like, I'm sharing all of my embarrassing lessons with you guys, but listen, that's what I'm here for, right?
Yeah, you make the mistakes early so that other people don't have to. That's
exactly. So that's one thing that we want to make sure that we're doing. You have a tripod, you have your light, whether it's a ring light or you have soft boxes. And we kind of also go over just the positioning for that, right? So if I scrub again, I can see somewhere where I thought I had it. Maybe I didn't add it in yet. But yes, so I talk about like where your light should be. So yes, even though we love natural light is not always the best option, especially if you're filming a few videos at once or, yeah.
So well, I'll let you get back to adding your media there just to address some housekeeping items. We have our daily creative challenge that's going on today as we're talking about all kinds of editing and media things. Just to let you know that the challenge for today is to repurpose video into a social media format. So using the auto reframe features that you find in Premiere Pro and Premiere Rush, and send those over to the Discord channel. If you check the challenge tab going on in the behance.net/live space, you can find that challenge tab. If you're watching us on YouTube, you won't have a challenge tab because those aren't features of that platform. You got to come over and hang out with us on Behance, where we're teaching all sorts of great things. We're seeing your questions in the chat. Speaking of questions, natural segue to Alberto is asking, is there a way to ungroup media once it's placed when you're moving things around? Because I guess grouping things and connecting them, very important to staying organized.
Yes.
How do you stay organized with that stuff on your timeline?
How do I stay organized with it? I think just having it in folders for me, so I know what is going where before we even get into editing. So you kind of see that I had it all separated. And for me, like, this organization goes through the whole process. Like I said, even with scripting, I kind of told you guys before about, having your hook or that thing. So these are things that you pre-think about, like your hook. Which is what brings your people in or, gets them comfortable to ingest that kind of content. For me, it's letting my audience know that I am as goofy as you and I'm still here on camera selling and teaching, right? And so just making people comfortable. And so that's how I get people into everything. So I start off with that and then I move into teaching. So the 3 to 5 points of what I want to get across are always premeditated or I script it out in that way. And so I add that into my body. So I break it down into 3 parts. So you can see here I have intro and I have body and I have outro. So that makes things just easier for me. And that way, even when I'm dropping things onto the track, I know that, okay, so intro, this is what's here. So I'll drop this in first and then I'll go in and, move along the process so that it's all in alignment with my vision when I first started anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's planning.
Yes.
Cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, no, that is so true. A lot of this is planning. Like it looks really easy, but it's even easier if you have things properly planned out.
Awesome. So let's see. Let's see if there are any other sort of large questions coming on. Sam Pan is asking, are there things Rush can do or does better that Premiere Pro cannot do? Ooh, spicy questions.
That is a spicy question. Evan, how you feeling about answering that?
I think, well, I mean, personally,
okay,
that all I can say is that some of the things that I think Rush does better is stripping away more of the interface. I am for removing all the tools that you don't need on screen.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you though, I'm an After Effects person, so
I know you are. I was waiting to hear you say.
Don't ask me about what tools you should have. I have an extra monitor for all the things that I need to have up at once.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm a crazy person like that. But I don't know, like when you're editing though, like are there reasons you would dip into Premiere versus when you would dip into Rush?
I think just exactly what you said, I think sometimes you just want to use what's at your fingertips. Like, you want to have everything kind of in plain sight. And I feel like that's what the Brush interface does for us, because, you have your media, you're able to easily do voiceover, which is so awesome. And you just click here and you record whatever it is that you, hold on. I don't want to mess anything up here. Oh no. Okay, let me just stop that. Yes.
Don't worry, our producer Paco will let us know in our ear. We've destroyed the delicate audio balance.
Right. He's probably saying like, no. So okay, good. But yeah, so for me, really having everything that you need at your fingertips, and it's kind of like in plain sight, right? So when we look at the platform, what we can see is we have all of our assets at our fingertips. We have duplicate, we have delete, we have everything. You can expand your audio here. Everything is exactly kind of where you would need it to be, right? You can hide things. Like if I just want to work with audio and I don't want to see that visual, I could hide that and just go ahead and work with audio. So just having all of these things at your fingertips. Titles are right here, right? You're also able to add your transitions easily. You're also able to, create effects with your presets. You can create presets. Like it's just so simple that I think it's a bit of a no-brainer editing in here. And so sometimes I just want to get in and get out. So sometimes a video will consist of an intro with a tile like this. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in there. Right? Where I have like that PNG that has the information of what we're covering. And then my video might be a 3-minute video of me talking, right? And then it might be an outro. And for me, like I can just come in here, hook that up and export it. And so sometimes that's just much more simple than, dabbling in Pro. And like I said, my audience needs, they just need simple.
Yeah, they just need it to work.
Yes, exactly. And so, yes, that is the thing. But there are also some things that, are a bit harder over here. Example, I would like to probably crop this differently than I would be able to. So that is something that I would be able to do in Pro. And when I say that, I'm able to rotate, which is fine, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to, I don't want to do a horizontal. I want to kind of zoom in a bit. But I feel like it's a bit harder for me to do it inside of Rush, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say I want to remove the edge of my computer screen right there, because most times I use my computer as a viewfinder so I can see if my shot is good and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's just sometimes like some things are just easier, but you make it work.
Yep. Got to make it work, people.
Yeah.
Was it Tim Gunn? Was it designers make it work?
Exactly. So, you just get like we can see here, I did end up doing it, but some things are just, yes, a little bit more simple.
I love that cleaning up the frame, just to remove any extemporaneous elements, like it's something that would draw the eye to the outside of the frame, with the contents in the middle.
Exactly. Right. So even if I kind of redo that here, it would be, just doing the same thing all over again. But I just feel like there are easier ways for me to probably do it.
Especially as we get into things like masking, get into
yes, exactly,
adjustment layers, all those good things. Let's see. Checking the chat, seeing what's going on in there, see what people are up to. Always let us know what you're up to in the chat. That's what we want to know. Let's see. We have with people asking about Sam Pan is asking about Mogrts, those motion graphics templates that you can bring them in. Do you use any Mogrt templates in your works?
Sometimes, not a lot, especially in course creation. I think it really depends on your personal brand. So if that is an aspect of your personal brand, then yes, you're able to implement it as much as you'd like. But I personally don't. Like I said, I had to pull myself away a bit from I like to say fangle dangles. Of it all, so that I was able to focus on selling. Like I really had to completely step away, guys. Like I need clean, clear, and simple so that I'm able to build a sustainable business. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, stripping away everything that is superfluous.
Yes, exactly.
That's just good business. You get rid of everything else that is not assisting you.
Exactly. I'm currently reading Essentialism. I forgot the author. How could you, XayLi?
Someone in the chat can Google it.
Google it. Google it. Yeah. And so, yes, he's speaking about trimming away the things or saying no to more things. And, really thinking about what is actually moving you forward. Right. And that's something that we don't do enough of, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, let's keep moving forward with the edit. And I'll just remind people that, coming up at around 2 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be checking in with the Daily Creative Challenge. So I'm seeing some of the entries coming in live. So that's good. Get your challenges at us. We'll review them coming up. But yeah, I see some clip trimming. We're getting things lined up. Take us into your mind palace. What's going on here?
Yeah. So what I'm looking to do is, we can see that I have more video than audio here. So what I'm looking to do is actually make sure that whatever I do have in video is what I want. So we don't want me not being there. We want me there, kind of showing, what I'll do is trim that clip so we can actually get when I'm there. And I like that I can see both sides of the screen, so that I can see what's coming after, Yeah,
because that's showing like both sides of the edit, right?
Exactly.
The in and the out.
So it's showing me what I'm gonna dive into as soon as this is over, kind of thing. Like, so yeah, just cleaning up some of these things. I know, like you can see here, I was going to turn my camera off, and we don't want that. So just making sure I end in a specific place. Evan, you're laughing and you're gonna make me laugh.
I'm just happy to see that everyone does the same things when they know they're gonna edit those parts of the clip out. Yes,
exactly. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
I feel a lot more seen by this course than I thought I would.
Really? Oh my God.
Well, I was like, oh, of course. I'm so embarrassing whenever I do those parts that I don't want people to see, and then I trim them out. If anybody found my clippings bin, then
what about showing your clippings bin on Adobe Live today?
You are braver than I am. I'll say that.
Where you're cringing because, look, I'm trying to get up there. And so now we got to figure that out, But yes.
I mean, video production is a process of self-discovery sometimes.
I like to say that. I like to say that, and I teach that at the core of video content creation. If you are not self-aware, because it's the creation of it all, it's the production, and even the upload. You're giving people the chance to say what they feel about you. So yes, that aspect is
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is more philosophical than we need to have for folks. But like, when you see yourself on camera and you hear yourself, I think a lot of people have that kind of cringe when they see and hear themselves.
And it never goes away. I will upload a video and I never look at it ever again. Seriously. Like, I'm like, okay, that, and it takes a lot to release it and let it out into the world. And just decide that you're going to let it live there. I have students that love Instagram stories because it's 24 hours and it goes away. And I'm like, well, your sales is going away too. So what are we doing here?
It's ephemeral. It just evaporates.
Exactly. So, things like that, we do have to think about as well.
Yeah. Well, people who are more comfortable with themselves, more comfortable on camera, like whenever we see ourselves, it's a reflection of all the things that we are maybe insecure about.
It is. So. And I'll be the first to say that I used to be so petrified of, I will always say I started YouTube in, I think 2009, and I uploaded a video and I deleted it right away. And I started years after again. Had I, because we have the YouTube OGs who have been like there forever. And so it's because they stuck to it.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. If the internet was larger when I started, I would not have continued. We've got some questions coming in.
Sure.
Danielle Pollard has got a question here about recording in multiple cameras.
Yeah.
Is this a single camera shoot? Are there multiple cameras? Because it feels like, she's saying this, that it feels like there are multiple cameras going on in the space.
Well, I'll tell you what's so funny, Danielle. That's such a good question. This video is actually different days. So because I record so much, that's the reason why I did audio first and then video, is because I was able to create that audio based on my script, right? And then compile clips of content that I had already to reflect what I was saying inside of that audio, right? So I knew, if you look at it, I knew I had like pans of my office where I was, showing what an artificial lighting setup looks like. I knew I also had pans of my windows, or even, and that's in B-roll, which I did not add yet, but pans of my windows. And I also knew that I had footage of me with natural light, right? So these are natural light, but if you look at these, which is what I'm describing in that audio, this is more artificial lighting. Right? So we can see the difference of what natural light would look like in the same space, and what artificial light would look like in that same space. And I'm sure if I scrub enough, like you'll see probably where the sun moved, or I probably had a good day there, but yes, horrible. Like I learned the hard way.
This is why I have an office full of lights now too. So next week I'm moving into a new space, and yes, I did choose to go that route, and it was hard because like you want that beautiful feel of that natural light, that airy, you know. I don't know. Seeing nature out the window is nice.
Yes, exactly. But
I don't like to be aware that I'm trapped in a windowless cube.
But then you realize that, it works. It really does work for video content.
Oh yeah. Consistency.
So, yeah.
You can just step in front of the lights, turn them on, good to go.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, you've got more clips coming down on the timeline.
Yes.
Moving things around.
Yes.
Is there anything specific you're looking for when you're choosing B-roll?
So I like to lay down a foundational clip, especially if it's me talking. What I do is I think about actions, or I think about like what someone would like to see as it pertains to. So example, me describing a setup, right? I would want to show you what that's like instead of just talking about it. Or let's say let's go into body. I think I have, okay, no, it's here. Where I have B-roll here, right? And I show kind of like, and I'll just add that so you can see. I'll move it around in a bit. But what I show is I'm speaking about the natural light, and I kind of show you like what those windows look like, right? So it's a cloudy day, which works because the sun is not moving around, especially when you're recording. If you're using natural light, cloudy days are great because there's no sun moving around. And so you're able to kind of have a mimic of golden hour light for the entire day. But if you look at it, you can see it would be better for me to show you those windows of where that natural light is coming from rather than just say it to you. So that would be a B-roll shot of like a pan of like, hey, these are the windows that I'm kind of talking about. And this is what my cute little office space looked like. But then, as I was saying, with the artificial light, you have that pan of what it looks like at night.
Yeah, it's, the concept of showing and not telling, I think is,
I know. Yes.
I think it's, I don't know, I'm sure you coach a lot of people at various levels of their career.
Yes.
Is that one of the primary lessons that you end up with?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a concept to be grasped, you know. But yes, it's definitely a thing. And even when I think about sales, it's kind of like there's this book called Tell Me, Don't Sell Me. You know, so just tell me about the thing.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to be a hard pitch. If the product is good, if you believe in the thing, just say what it does and people will like it.
Yes, that is so true.
So many book recommendations today.
I know, right? I'm feeling a bit philosophical, Evan.
Look, we're going deep with this program here. That's why people come to this to the Adobe Live.
That's good. Well, I'm happy we're able to do that, because
people think they're going to just learn about Rush, but they're learning about themselves. They're learning
about each other.
Oh man. But yeah, well, while you get some clips down on the timeline, I'll answer a question that I guess is for me. Isis is asking, what kind of mic am I using? Well, you're enjoying a Rode Procaster microphone, going into some Scarlett preamps, and there's a lot of processing happening. Yeah, no,
Evan, I can tell that your setup you're probably looking at my little setup that I'm teaching here, like hoo hoo ha 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 ha.
Oh no. So it's interesting. So at the start of this, we talked about being audio forward, right? That you do that. I'm only recently becoming more audio forward. Really? I used to be more visual forward. That I would because I work in motion graphics, so of course my mind is visually trained. But when I switched to that, I was like, oh, I need to pay way more attention to my audio. Yeah. So I became much more obsessed with audio hardware and stuff like that. So there's. On the reverse angle, if you looked at the reverse angle of my office, it would be a bunch of triangular foam on the wall. Which is, look, that's maybe overkill for most people's spaces.
No, it's so funny because I'm moving into a new space and it's huge and the echo is horrible. So I will have to invest in. So I was actually looking that up, like the difference between like, the Amazon $40 foam crates, or I think it was audio mute, actual foam, like they look like pieces of art, but they're actually so interesting to hear you talk about it.
It's diffusion, absorption, all these audio properties. Like if you're designing a space, you have the ability, bring in an engineer because they can make a lot more sense of that stuff, right? And I don't know. The minor amount that I've done in here has been hopefully people can enjoy the.
Oh no, it sounds really good.
Thank you. But yeah, talk us through where you're at in your edit and what we're doing next.
So next, what I'm gonna do is continue trimming down like what I want really. And I kind of know what I want. Like I want to cut out like probably places where kind of like I was doing before, getting up and moving around. I don't want those things in there. So that's the thing. It's kind of like you film so much footage. Like people don't understand a 3-minute video has so much footage to it. So you spend a good while like trimming down things, looking up like moving things around, making sure. And then what I'm going to do is kind of match that to the audio. And it's funny because I'm looking at the time and I don't know if we'll get like all the way through it today.
Hey, we've got a second day. We're hanging out tomorrow.
We are hanging out tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And that usually takes a while. I think for me, like trimming and organizing and moving things around is probably what takes the longest in the editing process. Making sure that you got that shot, or sometimes you do things like 3 times. Well, me. I feel seen, Evan. Like
everyone's doing it 3 or 4 times.
I feel so seen today.
It's like nothing to be embarrassed about. Everyone's doing it 3 times. Who was it? There was some director that was talking about how they had to have someone do like a take, like the same thing 28 times.
Oh my gosh.
To get to him, like, oh yeah, I see why actors go crazy. I get it. I get
exactly. So that's the thing, like doing things so many times. Even for me, when I'm warming up, so let's say I haven't filmed in a while and I get in front of the camera and I start talking, that scene has to be done over a few times. Even my intro of like who I am, oh my gosh, I'm like, no, let's do that again.
Who am I? Oh,
yeah. Forgot. But
I'm
yeah.
Evan Abrams?
Right. So that's the thing, like, and it's good to talk about these things because when someone sees it on the front end and they see that finished polished video, they really think that it's just a whirlwind, it just happens and that's it. And it's so much that goes into that. In defense of video content, I will say that it converts so well. Even when I'm doing sales calls or I'm launching something, people already know they want to work with me because they've already caught on to my personality, what my values are, what I'm about, if I'm the person that they want to work with. So it's no longer a lengthy, long sales call. Most people come saying, I want to work with you. That's it. Like, and so for me,
fewer cold calls, fewer people calling the wrong place.
Exactly. So I actually don't even cold call for business or, because of video though, it's kind of like you're positioning yourself as a solution, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest, especially when someone is searching for something specific. I know what my audience wants. So just knowing that, I'm able to give them the answer that they're searching for, and the conversion is really good. So even though it's a lot, which is why, it's good to teach it in such a simple way so that it's not as complicated as it could be, especially when we look around on social media and we're seeing so many perfect videos and so many, amazing producers. And as creatives, we're always comparing ourselves. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy.
It sure is. I told my mom that the other day and she was like, oh my gosh, you're so knowledgeable. I'm like, Mom, no, I can't take credit for that one.
Mom, that's on a pillow. That's a cross stitch.
Every pillow at Hobby Lobby. Yes, exactly. So yeah, but it's true. It is a thief of all joy. So as creatives, like sometimes we're just focused on what somebody else is doing when what we should be focused, especially when you're working online. I feel like before the internet, you weren't seeing your competitor pitching right across the street from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, speaking of comparison, we're going to look at some creative daily challenges about half an hour. So make sure
right.
you're getting those in. Send them into the Discord. Links to all that stuff are in the chat. If you're watching this on the YouTube, come join us on Behance. Not that we, look, we're not here to compare the two platforms, but this one's a little bit better. So because we can see your chat, we can interact with you here. You can take part in the challenge, which is repurposing video into a social media context, into another format, going vertical, going square. I shoot myself in vertical video so I appear thinner. Everyone should. So.
First of all, I've never thought about that.
People think I'm 6'5". So I'm 5'11".
I'm taking that to Evan. I'm leaving with that today, and that it is what it is from here on out. Like, right. I like that one.
Evan is 5'11", which is his way of saying he's actually 5'10". That's what any dating profile app will tell you. This is science. Okay, so let's dive in. We got half an hour before we're checking out submissions. Talk us through your process.
Yeah. So like I said, still trimming, but what I've done is so that my audio doesn't move around, I locked it so that whatever I'm dragging and dropping here, it isn't affecting that audio. And after I'm done doing this, what I'm going to do, so I'm trimming down here, but after I'm done doing this, I'm going to make sure that the audio is reflecting, or the video is reflecting what I'm saying via audio, right? But we want to just get these in place. And then after that, when we get all of that together, we're going to start like adding text. Or one thing I love about Rush, especially when you're teaching, because educational videos are a bit different. You have things like call outs, or, you're able to add titles in places. So if I'm explaining something, or let's say I say, you can visit me over at XayLiBarclay.com, I can also type that out, just to make the experience a bit much more enhanced, so that I feel like sometimes we hear something and we see it and it really hits home. Rather than just hearing it, you're probably not inclined. So when you see that title show up, whether it's a lower third or you're able to just resonate with it more, it kind of stays, because people are so visual. We don't realize how visual we are.
Yeah, when we hear a thing, it's compounded by what we see. That's the joy of editing, right?
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes moments of comedy when we're seeing and hearing things that are totally different, or setting up expectations. Yeah. Ooh, yes. I like this diagram.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for Danielle earlier. So what I did with that diagram, it's reflected here in real life, but I wanted to kind of show what that looked like, so that you have a good idea of you being here. If you have a desk in front of you, and having your camera and tripod back here, your lighting, so that you're well lit, and your wall or background. Hopefully you can see that as well.
Oh, so when Zennials are talking about being lit, this is what they mean, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I want to be sure.
You know what? Evan, you listen, we're friends. I just hope you know this. Like, it is what it is. You
ever come up to Ottawa, Canada?
Listen, I will. We're friends. Like, yeah. I just hope like, oh yeah, But yes,
this is why I come out to host the show. So I make friends all over the world.
There you go.
Awesome. And I noticed, so you've got your audio layer locked down there.
Yeah.
So that means that the clips won't move around, that kind of thing. Like, is that normally how you're working?
Yeah. So what usually, I would line them up a bit more, but like I said, we're having a conversation. I'm trying to focus. So, but yeah, so I would kind of position everything where I want it to be. And I would even go through, because I know I have mistakes in here. So that's something else that I would, like go through and just listen. So that I can see.
Okay, guys, I am back again.
Like you said earlier, if we look at the waveforms, you can kind of see where I stopped and started back, or, so I would zoom in on those and really go in and edit and cut out whatever I don't want there. And then go back in and just make sure those clips are lining up, because I might be talking about artificial light, or how to use your tripod, your bracket for your phone. And so I want to make sure that what I'm saying here reflects it. And if I hit play,
and also the background or my wall. So I wanted to show you this so that you get
right. So here we're talking about backgrounds and walls, and that's way here, like right. So I would want to match all of that up and make sure that everything is exactly where I want it to be. I don't know if I answered your question, Evan, but
oh no, that's perfect. Yeah. Because one of the things I think that some people sometimes fumble with on this interface, like if they're using it on an iPad, is they intend to move something, but then they move too many things. And
yes,
because it's when we're using a mouse, very, very precise. When we're using our finger, not so good.
That is true. That is true. And I think for me, what helps with that is also zooming in. So kind of just mentioned that, but zooming in so that you're able to and I know all the shortcut people are looking at me like, you're really clicking. And
no, this is best practices on the live stream, because
so that you guys can find it.
Well, I mean, a lot of the Adobe team will tell you that across the world, not everyone has the same keyboards, right? So
that is so true.
Yes. Someone who's, if you're watching this in Japan, if you're watching this in Dubai, you might not have the same US language keyboard. I mean, even here in Canada, we have French and English keyboards. So
wow.
May not be the same.
Right.
But yeah, of course, I'm side-eyeing the Adobe people because people sign me and zoom in, huh?
I'm having too much fun here. This is too much fun. So, Evan, no, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about it in that way. So, yeah, but you're right. So
they're next to each other on my keyboard now that I look at it. You know what? I rescind my earlier complaint. I
am not a part of this with Evan is trying to get us both in trouble.
I take it back. I apologize.
There you go.
Use the correct key. All right.
Because
you were saying earlier about when you do a take, you have that like breath and that countdown.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're kind of hunting for when you're looking on your audio waveform?
Yes, I do. So yes, I'm really happy you asked that. So if I make a mistake, and I used to be such a stickler about it before, but if I do make a mistake, I don't, I might, let an expletive go or two. So I don't hold it I let it go because I know, you stop right there. And then I look for that dead space where I did a 1, 2, and I started back saying it over again. Sometimes it takes 3 takes for it to come out exactly the way that I want it to come out, especially because I have an accent. I was born in Trinidad. So so I have that accent of being born in Trinidad and living in New York City for 12 years. And now I live in Texas where everything is y'all. So there are 3 different accents in there. So sometimes I get tongue tied. And so it'll take me a few takes to say something, And
you're often saying, I'm walking here to people.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you have an excellent accent. So
thank you, Evan. I used to be so ashamed of my accent. It kept me back from doing video for a very long time. And so, yes, it's funny because, what's funny? I have so many Canadian friends. And so we spell things the same way and pronounce things the same way in Trinidad. So, so for me, even pronouncing things the American way, sometimes it's like, I used to be so insecure about it. But I later understood that it's a part of my brand and people love it. And it's really, especially when you're on camera, use the things that you are just most insecure or embarrassed about, because now I use this as my superpower. Look at that face that is on the screen. You guys, Evan, you could have told me that. Wow, Evan, we were supposed to be friends. You gotta have my back. Like, wow.
No, that's a producer's thing. That's
but using, like we said, self-awareness, but using these things as your superpowers, especially on camera, because there are other people that when I started coming out about that, other people were like, from around the world saying, I felt the same way. And you've inspired me so much that, but yes.
I mean, I think there's a fairly large Trinidadian diaspora in Canada, for sure. I mean, I know we have
Toronto.
That's right. They've pretty good carnival down there.
Yeah, Caravana, right? Yeah. Yep. There you go. Evan, you see.
For a little trivia, I lived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for a little bit.
You did not.
The next island over for geography buffs.
Wow. Yeah. Guys, let me tell you something. Evan has so many things up his sleeves that you're like, wait, what?
Well, so the interesting thing I find about accents anyway is that depending on it's a lot of your school system, right? Like the people you went to school with is kind of who forms that childhood accent.
Yeah.
Which is why people who grew up in Hong Kong, they have a very British sounding accent sometimes because the school system says this is the proper way to speak, right? But
which is the same thing in Trinidad.
Yeah. The proper way to speak is however you speak. That's
I love that. So I have 2 takeaways from Evan.
Okay.
Damn, I can't remember the first one.
Sorry, we'll come back to it.
I'll come back to it. But I like this one too. Yes, you speak however you speak. And I like that. Yes. Don't be ashamed of your accent, guys, if you're here and you have one.
It's, I don't know. Part of editing is making things understandable and stuff. And I guess part of that is enunciating and whatever.
Yes.
But I don't know. At a certain point, you got to sound like you. So
yes, and that's your superpower.
Yeah, love it.
That is
awesome.
Something.
So yeah, we got 15 minutes before we're checking out some entries, but let's keep it going here.
Yes. So now we're going to Zoom to Fit, and there are some things that I know for sure, like I said, are B-roll, which is kind of like this clip with the window. And I know that I spoke about it here with the natural light. So I'm going to drop that up there. And I will really make sure of what it is after I chop up my audio, and make sure that I like what's being said. And after I cut out all of my mistakes, because that's a thing as well. So yes. And then what I'm going to do is, just continue moving things that I know are B-roll where I know that they should be. And you can kind of see that we're coming down, we're cutting down, because we have all the media that I created for this specific project in here. So we can kind of see that everything is kind of coming together. Right?
Perfect. Yeah. Because now we got 2 video tracks going now. We've gone multi-track for people who are asking.
We have.
My editing comes from sort of a news background where we would do sort of the primary edit, classic A/B editing, right? You get your A line, and then you put your B line above it, and this seems pretty similar as well.
Yes.
But yeah, so for course content, I think. I don't know, for anyone, do you have any sort of recommendations for people who are maybe sort of struggling with planning this kind of thing out?
Yeah. So we kind of mentioned scripting before. That's the first thing that you should do. Well, first you should know your objective. What's your objective for the lesson? For this lesson, at the end of it, that person must be able to understand in order to create a talking head video, which is why it's so funny, because we started with a talking head video of me goofing around and we ended with a talking head video, right? So yes. So that's kind of what we're trying to get across. So everything in between is leading you up to creating that talking head video. And like I said before, keep it 3 to 5 points. That way you don't have a hour video because this could be an hour, Evan,
right.
Yeah, it could have been an hour, but I know that when people are coming to you for information, they want action. So I want that they get their information and they're able to easily execute. So I know in order to do that, I needed to cover a few things. So I needed to cover video setup. I need to cover tripods. I need to cover lighting. I need to cover audio because, we were just speaking about that. Video is amazing, but you can't look at a video with horrible audio, right? Let's just be honest. Right? Like I told you guys, I figured that out with those glass panels. I was like, wait, what is going on? Yeah. It looks beautiful, and so that's really when I got into getting microphones and things like that. Before I had an even smaller space that had no glass panels and the audio wasn't that bad. I would be able to easily use my phone as a microphone or, and so when I moved into this space, I could not do that at all. So I had to invest in like a microphone, an actual microphone and, things like that. So as you move along, you learn. And I like to challenge myself setting up in different spaces so I can see, because I teach it, I want to know like what someone else might be struggling with. And now I can actually talk about having glass all around you or, you got to get burnt to learn.
Yep. And you've got a glass tabletop. You're in challenge mode here.
Listen, I was so confused, Evan. I was like, wait, the video looks beautiful. What is going on? So we still can't even sacrifice audio. So you definitely need to have a good microphone. You need to understand natural light and what could happen, when the sun moves and things like that. Versus artificial lighting. Like there were so many things that I wanted. I wish if I had my own lesson, I wouldn't have to go through all that.
Only future me had have sent this.
Right. So exactly. And it's so funny because, and this is the beauty of an online course. Even though we have things on YouTube, it's never a full-on lesson like this that's getting to an objective. Mm-hmm. It's probably a person addressing that you shouldn't record with glass. Mm-hmm. And that's it, right? So it's like, we don't have that full-on step-by-step lesson of how to specifically do this thing all the time. So, just putting in things that people might run into is really important.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah.
And so when you're out there, when you've got your script, are you putting together like a shot list of B-roll that you're like, I specifically want these kind of shots?
Yes. And so I think about action, how is my student seeing this, or would it be better? And I like saying that like online courses have different forms of video. You can do a screen share or a screencast. You can do a presentation video. There are so many different formats of videos that you can do. You don't have to do talking head. I recommend it because it gets your audience so much more into you. Kind of like if Evan and I were here and I didn't have my camera on, the connection would be different from, us having a conversation and seeing each other and being able to read body language. Like every time he laughs at something, I'm like, oh, what are you laughing at? So
people like eyes and teeth. It's their favorite thing to look at. And
that's the third thing I'm taking away. You just have so many gems, Evan.
Well, that's what happens when you're a PA in a news thing. You pick up a lot of axioms come your way.
There you go. So yeah, well, guys, there you have it. People like eyes and teeth. So you need to get on camera.
For some reason. It's their favorite.
Yeah. But things like that. So knowing like, okay, so I like using this example. If I'm showing you how to make a burger, I can't just talk you through it. I got to show you the sizzle and I'm hungry, guys. I'm hungry. And I got to show you like me putting it all the way together. Imagine me just talking about it, right? And it comes back to sales. If I talk about something, yes, that's great. But if I show you and talk about it, you're going to be a bit more hungry if you see the visual of the thing, right?
That's right. Now I might listen to a podcast about making a burger. I don't think I would. But
you're still visualizing it when you're listening to it.
Yeah, it has to be a really good audiotronic experience for me to really feel that burger making process.
There you go. So I like to think about it like that. Like, would it be better if like I could have talked you through this? I could have said, you put your camera in front of you and all of those things. but I actually walk you through it. I give you a diagram. Like that makes it that much better, you know, as it pertains to someone executing it. So that's what I think about when it comes to B-roll. What's going to enhance this experience for the viewer or the student? Like what's going to make them, I feel like when we see things like this, it's just easier for us to say, well, okay, oh, that's where things need to go. Now I get it. So now I understand how I can execute or how I can,
Perfect.
put this together. But yeah.
Awesome. And we have a question from Ray Lancashire. He's asking if there's a way to automatically fit audio to video or video to audio. Are there those kinds of automatic fitting or stretching elements in Rush?
I could be wrong. I do not think so. I think that's more of a pro feature where you're able to easily sync rather than what I'm doing. So yeah, that might be a reason that you use Prep.
Yeah, because I know there are features in Premiere like rate stretching, so that it clips faster, slower. You can just grab the rate stretch tool and
exactly. Yeah,
that's the technical.
But then again, like think about a newbie hearing that, it starts sounding like.
That's true. I just said a whole lot of crazy things.
Sure did. But for the creator who's been doing this, it's like, yeah, and you know what? They have something else to add to it. But to the newbie, it's like, wait, what? What just happened? So
what were those sounds Evan made? I didn't like that.
But yeah, so
awesome. And it looks like we're making people hungry with our burger chat. So
I'm hungry, guys. Now I want a burger.
We'll get there.
We will.
Awesome. Yeah. So keep it going. Let's see where we go next.
Yeah. So my next step would really be so now I've chopped this down a bit. I won't go anymore because what I really need to do is finesse my audio. Right. Okay. So, and I could do this, like I said, in two ways. I feel like if I look at the video while doing it, it's going to distract me a bit. So I'm going to, it might get a little boring because we don't have my funny faces anymore. But what I want to do is just really zoom in so that I'm able to, like I said, go back to those waveforms. And I think we were having such a good conversation just now that I ended up not showing this or showing like you were saying, like, what are we
on? But you know something?
Actually, that was just me being dramatic, Evan.
That's a dramatic pause. We don't cut those out. Those are for timing.
I know, right? It just makes it so good.
Comfort zone a bit. I'm not gonna lie, but in a really good way.
I love it.
A good way that
I don't know. I think about this when editing audio all the time. Is like, how much breath does a statement need for people to internalize it? And
that is true.
I don't know. We get into this thing like with YouTube. You can edit it down so it's like the presenter never breathes.
Yes, exactly. You're so right. But then it takes away some of the. I know for me, and I have to think about it in this way, the same way that I have a conversation or tell a story. I want to relay that somehow, because then it ends up being too perfect.
Right.
If we cut all of that goodness out. So for me, I like, and it's so funny. I was listening to a vocal coach the other day, and he was saying that a lot of times we actually speak, the voice that we mimic is probably that of our moms or our dads. Like, it's not your voice. You're mimicking someone else that you know, or you're speaking kind of like that, right? It was so interesting. And so for me, I know I speak in a storytelling sing-songy way, which is part of my accent because we sing a lot, like we talk and sing a lot, but it's something that people like about listening to me. So I know that when I'm telling a story or something, like, you know, I want to put all the effects and the drama in it because we have 7 minutes to get through this content. And if I was reading like, well, the boy. So that's what it was. He was saying, like, sometimes people speak in a monotonous tone because that's what they've heard and they think they can't speak any other way. But, you know, I feel like video is so good because you're stimulating audio and that visual. So the more that you can bring that experience together for your person, and that's something that I do. Even like I have people that are already hitting crazy numbers with sales, but their workshops are boring.
So and for them, it's like literally the content alone is what's pulling them, right?
Yes. If it wasn't for that content, like
Yeah.
some people are just hard to listen to. And so there are ways that you can fix that with body language and how you smile and how you speak to the camera and how you connect with it. And that translates in sales, guys.
I think about that a lot. When I was a kid, I listened to a lot of like PBS programming. So the voices that I heard most of my day are Bob Ross, LeVar Burton, and Mr. Rogers.
Legends.
Those are quality voices.
Yes. The legends in the game.
Yeah.
But yes.
We're just going to put a happy little cloud right over here.
Exactly.
But it's like, I guess those are like soft masculinity,
Yeah.
right? Is the idea. And I don't know. It definitely changes the way people talk. If I watch more WWE, I might have a much more.
Oh, but you haven't though. Wait.
I've got range. Too.
Evan, you are so, I don't know, you're multifaceted. I have to say.
I got all the facets.
Yes.
A lot of people in the chat are asking, this stream itself will be archived for all time and all space. So if you check that out on Behance or on YouTube, I suppose. So we're going to be on here for all time. People will watch this forever. People are also
that mean
asking,
you guys are enjoying it? Yeah.
People are liking it. Okay. I mean, they're coming in late, but they're enjoying it. The work that you're working on today and tomorrow, because we're going to continue this tomorrow as well. The final version of that, is there going to be a place that people can watch the finished product?
Yes, I'll be sure to probably have that over to you guys so that they can see like what the ending of it all looked like. And so that you know that you can edit in Rush. You don't have to have all of the fangle dangles, right? You can create high quality video in Rush as well. Yeah.
And just make sure that we're going to have people in the chat putting up all your social medias as well. So
you,
people are able to find you on the YouTube, on the Instagram, all those great places.
Yes.
So that, people will
on the interwebs.
Yeah, look, all around the interwebs. So yeah, it's going to be there. We've got you, good people of the chat. We got you. So, but yeah, we got a couple more minutes, so let's keep it going.
Yeah. So now that we're focused on audio, I'll show you guys this. Now you can see that in the beginning, I was moving things around so that we were able to look at those waveforms and see, like at first, one of the first things that I was doing was kind of trimming audio, but you can see now that I've zoomed in, it actually, like there's some trimming that I may have missed, right? So if we highlight here, you can see that, we could have gone in a bit more, but not too much. Like Evan was saying, sometimes we trim things down so much that it does seem like you don't take a breath, right? Like you're just going. But all in all, so I can actually search my waveforms to see where I probably made a mistake. And I kind of heard one earlier. But what happens is that sometimes you'll see like a pause or just dead space where I'm probably saying the same thing over and over. And sometimes I flow. It depends on if I took my vitamins,
It's essential. I have found, now that I switched to a standing desk, I find that I make way more read errors. I don't know why. I'm just getting better blood flow. I don't know. Like I just feel way more.
I have heard that before.
Oh, standing desk, folks. It's great.
Yes.
But hey, speaking of transitioning from sitting to standing, we are going to need to transition to have a look at those creative challenges here. So we'll figure that stuff out. Let me just go ahead. I have to do a little screen share here.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's. Let's see. Scroll up. All of your design challenges should be going up to the Discord channel. If you're not part of that already, please get involved. We want to see your daily challenges. We have actually quite a few that have come in here on our day 3 There's some on day 2 as well, and day 1. It's a whole week of video related things, but today your challenge was to take some existing content, something in kind of a 16:9 regular basic kind of upload. We're going to turn it into some mobile content, perhaps using auto reframe, maybe remixing it a little bit. So let's have a peruse and see what we like here. Hopefully we can hear and see, but people will let me know if we can. So we're starting it off with this one is from JD. So let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. All different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. All of these things are covered on this channel, and you're also going to find musical instruction along the way from myself and a host of other artists that I work with, specifically shot for the Just Play Music show. If you're looking for some new content to binge on that is fun and family friendly, I think you're going to find it here. No, you will find it here. No, I guarantee you'll find it here. Well, you'll find it here. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, just play music.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. We got close crop on the wonderful Jason Levine there.
That was awesome.
I like the music choice. What do you think?
I really like it. I do like the music choice now that you've mentioned it, but I was so into his presence. First of all, that was really bomb. I love that he gave a call to action. I love that he showed his personality by letting you know that you are going to love being here. And this is exactly, I like that he gave a preview also of what you're going to expect. But yeah, that was really good.
Right. Like even for 46 seconds, we still went on a bit of a journey.
Yeah, and I would continue on the journey because of what I saw. I think, which is like the main, yeah.
Boom. Yeah, because this is, I mean, if you're repurposing this, you're taking it and you're going to put it on Instagram. We have to get people off of the Instagram platform to somewhere.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, look, I have some words for Instagram about that, but that's apps keeping you circulated inside their ecosystem. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
With their new inventions.
You got to reach a certain subscriber amount in order to actually push people off the platform. Okay, let's watch the next one from Hades here. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Hades, check out. Oh, here, Heidi Russell's the full name of this one. And this is actually from day 2. So we're going to enjoy this clip from the day 2 challenge, I believe.
Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. All different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. If you're looking for some new content to binge on that is fun and family friendly, you'll find it here. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, just play music.
Awesome. So yesterday's or the day 2 challenge was to create this trailer, right, for YouTube channel. I don't know. What do you think?
I liked it. The music was a bit louder on this one, right? So I recognized it more. I think with the last one you mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty.
Oh, cool. There was music.
Yeah, but this one, it was louder, and it let me. I actually honed into his message even more that he is talking about music. Right,
had some solid glockenspiel action in there.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed, YouTube is like the world of jump cuts, right? YouTube brought us the. Not the invention of the jump cut, but the acceptability of the jump cut.
Yeah.
Has become. Yes. And that in this video, we saw some that were like that chopped towards the end.
Yes.
But some of them towards the beginning. If you're gonna go jump cut, go big with jump cut.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely true. You're so right. Yes. Like if you're jump cutting, jump cut.
Yeah. It becomes an interesting like comedy punctuation sometimes, where it's like idea, and then you have this punctuation, because like people don't expect perfection, which I think is cool. So it becomes part of the joke.
Yeah, and that's the fun part of it, of creating. Oh
yeah, that's why I keep doing it, because
that part.
No one will listen to my stand-up comedy anyway. Awesome. So this one is from Admiral Entropy. Hello, sir, or ma'am. I don't know. We don't have any appropriate terms yet for figure it out. But I guess just Admiral. Just always address people by their rank. Problem solved. So this is for the day 3.
Hi, I'm Jason Levine, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music, all different types of styles, different genres, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week.
Ooh.
All right.
Bit more graphical.
Yeah, the pans, okay.
Now we're going somewhere. We've got that punctuation, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about, and I mean, as much as YouTube made the jump cut acceptable, I think Twitch has made the crash zoom back in vogue.
No, you're so right.
It's like statement again.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I also like the elements of like subscribe. I think that's really important because a lot of times we, like I said before, like sometimes we need to see it and hear it at the same time, and it makes it like, okay, let me go do that.
Yeah, like they had the kind of in the corporate speak, we'd say like speak and say or speak and spell. Yeah. When you're saying something and it happens to be up on screen at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know why we use that term, speak and spell. That's a child's toy.
I know, right?
But just that idea that
children.
Like, yeah. Look, that's how things are in corporate video. But I don't know. I like that he says the channel title. There's the channel title, right? Says subscribe. There's subscribe. Those are the call outs that you were
exactly
telling people about.
Yeah.
What do we got here? We got this one's by Fast Eddie, who on YouTube goes by Throwing Light. Ooh. I like to see the different names people take on different platforms.
That is so true.
I mean, you're a content creator coach. How important is it to harmonize those ideas?
I mean, you mean like across all platforms, like having the same name or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if people can't find you, they can't pay you. So.
Boom. They can't find you.
So be the same person everywhere so they can pay you.
Right.
But yeah, I do. Yeah.
Get consistent.
Yes.
It's so much harder now that all the names have been taken.
I know. You know what? Well, XayLi is kind of,
unique.
It's just me.
Yeah.
I'm lying. Somebody has @XayLi. So I had to use the whole XayLi Barclay. And they have like 2 followers. They're not doing anything with the account, and they posted in 2015 or 2016. I was so mad, Evan. Like, why?
When I found out that someone already had E.C. Abrams on Facebook, I was very crestfallen.
Are they using the account?
It's mostly their name isn't even anyway. I don't want.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into it. I went down a rabbit hole. All right, let's see this one here.
Hi, I'm Jason Levine, and welcome to Just Play Music. If you're looking for some new content to binge on that is fun and family friendly, I think you're going to find it here. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, just play music.
Oh, with the credits.
Some credits at the end.
Yeah.
So that one's from Fast Eddie. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one?
I really like that one. I love the credits at the end as well. It was really good. The only thing I feel like when we're playing music that has words in it, sometimes it gets kind of caught up with the person speaking.
Yeah.
But that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that lyrics, like, I don't know why. It's anytime there's 2 kind of words competing with each other.
Yeah. Because then I want to hear what song is this? Kind of, yeah. That's just me. I have the attention span. You know what? Yeah. But yeah.
Tune Jason down for a moment. I want to hear the song. But yeah, I liked clever use of the auto reframing. I'll say this about Jason has a lot of head movement when he presents, which when you do jump cuts comes out really interestingly. There's something really neat.
That is so true.
Because it punctuates everything, right?
Yeah.
I can be very limited in my head movement, so people don't even notice the jump cuts. doesn't even
Really?
faze me.
Oh, I'm always dancing. Like there's always like something
I'm just a
going
very
on there.
rigid person.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very good job. Very good job,
Yes.
Fast Eddie. What's interesting is like everyone's basically starting with the same raw materials. So we're seeing
Yeah.
a lot of remixes. Let's see, what do we got here? HJ here. Hannah Young, or Jung. I think it's Young, probably. I'm so bad with getting the J's correct.
Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. Musical performances, musical instruction, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. If you're looking for some new content to binge, you're gonna find it here. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget,
That was a good touch. Oh,
subscribe.
Okay. Oh.
You thought it was done, but it came back.
Oh, oh wow.
I like this one. This
Yeah.
is like
That it stood out a lot. Yeah.
It's in a lovely square format.
Yes.
Things are working out. I think this might be the only square entry we got.
I think so, yeah.
It's I don't know. I prefer square as a vertical.
I can't lie, I do too. But that could just be my brain, the way that I like to see things like polished or like
symmetrical.
Yeah, symmetrical. That's the word.
I don't know. It's something very appealing about it that really works out. Awesome. I liked their I really like their kind of I don't know what am I thinking of? Mumblecore? Is that the type of thing where edits kind of hang a little bit longer than you might anticipate?
Yeah, because then it still leaves that element of surprise, kind of like, oh, I thought this was over, but yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Yes, that worked really well. I would hit that button right there. Exactly.
So good. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot that people in social media content can learn from the world of comedy.
Yes,
just because
that is so true.
Condensing and brevity.
Yes.
All right, we got one more of the day threes here from Harvey, and let's.
I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music.
I'm gonna make that full screen.
I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. If you're looking for some new content to binge, this is it.
Oh, right to the point.
Yeah.
Boom. 10 seconds. What do you think? 10 seconds, is that long enough to get this stuff across?
Yeah, I feel like he said so much more that you could have pulled in, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Evan?
I don't know. There's this adage, right, that if you have a good 1 minute, you have an excellent.
Well, that is true.
Seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it gets the point across. It does make me hungry to know more.
You're absolutely right. Huh.
I mean, this is the debate that I think content creators have all the time, right? How much is too much?
Yeah, exactly. No, you're so right about that. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we should do our own cut down of.
Yeah, maybe I do too much, guys.
Look, we don't want to cut down all of our time. We're hanging out for another about 15 minutes here, so we could let's see with some of the stuff from yesterday. I'm surprised we got a lot of good entries. So keep your entries coming in, people. Keep coming and bringing them to the Discord channel. There's still more of these to be gone through throughout the week. We'll see more of them. So take part in the creative challenges. We love to see what everybody's working on, what everybody's doing, and to give you this feedback. Hopefully it's helpful and actionable. That's my hope. But we have some more time together. Let's continue on with your edit, and we will return to your screen. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. No, I'm going to keep sharing my screen.
Yeah, I'm good. Yes.
All right. And so we will return.
Okay.
So yeah, we got 10 minutes with you here. So we will see how much further we can go. We are back at you again tomorrow, though. So please do remember. More to go. There's always more. There's no end to how down the rabbit hole we can go with editing.
Oh, there's always more to do in editing. Even the fact that as soon as you're done this, there's something else that you've got to edit. Because I batch film. What do you do, Evan?
Man, it really depends. If I know I'm doing a series,
Yeah.
I want to at least take care of all the talking head parts, so that those are consistent. I have a very branded head and beard stubble that I like to maintain.
Well, it looks good.
Thank you. It's sandpaper core is what I'm going for. But just, for those kind of aesthetic things, I don't know. No one's doing my hair and makeup over here. I don't. No one's putting the powder on my dome. So it's sort of thing that's the kind of thing that I need to batch through, right?
Well, maybe that's why I batch, because you get this face and you're gonna get it for a few videos. Well, let's repurpose it in tomorrow's video, or just kidding. But yeah, I feel like, yes, for women, like, it's such a hassle getting ready that, when you get ready, like, if I could knock out like a month of talking head footage, like, definitely, like, I want to get it done, you know? But yeah.
Well, the other thing is that, like, it's that task switching. I don't know if people are into. I would like another book recommendation today. Deep Work by Cal Newport.
So good. Game changer. Yes.
Yeah. He talks about task switching a lot in there, that you get this residual from switching tasks. So if you're able to shoot everything on one day, that's going to be more efficient shooting. You're going to edit everything on one day, more efficient editing.
I do that. Yeah, I do that, and I teach that. I teach first off brainstorming. So I do that on one day, because I feel like when I brainstorm, plan, record, script, all of those things on one day, like, it's not the best use of my energy. But if I brainstorm one day, so I kind of brainstorm for the month, and I know, a month prior, like, I know what I'm putting out there. And then I take some time to plan and make sure that everything makes sense. And then I have a recording day, then I have an editing day, then I have a upload day. Like, all of that is really, it feels good, because I feel like I'm fresh and bushy-tailed for each task. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, those are the parts of production that I don't think most people kind of know about.
No, it's so true. Yes. Especially if you're consistently producing, you've got to find some kind of like rhythm with it.
If I watched it on Wednesday, it must have been recorded on Wednesday.
Nope, it was recorded a month ago.
Yeah. I just put a calendar in the back and I set it ahead a month, so it seems very contemporary.
Right? Yeah.
Life hacks.
Especially if you're keeping up with the schedule, like, we know that doing the thing, like, let's say you have a Wednesday schedule and you're doing all of those 5 things on Wednesday morning, so that that's not so efficient, right? Then a few weeks later, you start missing Wednesday. Like, you start like, it's like, hey, what's going on?
Starts to slide.
Exactly.
A window and go. Now, the best things that
those are some long pauses. I thought that one was a mistake too. I have some mistakes in here. I've got to scrub through.
Yeah. We got to scrub the audio. We got to find all the bad takes. We're going to take those takes out.
Yeah.
We only have good takes here on the Adobe Live program.
There you go.
Only the hottest and goodest of takes.
The hottest and goodest of takes.
That's right. But it's getting around to that time where we need to start thinking about wrapping up. So let's recap kind of what we did today for folks, where we started and where we got to. It'd be great just to let people know, kind of as we do in video content, say what you're going to say what you then say it, and then say what you said.
So what we did today was we started editing a lesson for an online course. And so we covered a few things well, right? We covered like structures for online courses, like the videos are a bit different from, let's say, a vlog, or unless you're teaching someone to do that, or, but a vlog is good marketing for if you have an online course. That's how my brain works. Like, how are we going to sell this thing? So I came in with, my footage organized into folders, and I had some of it laid out already because I knew it would be a little bit pressed for time. But I also explained, like, I laid my audio out first because I recorded my audio. So I worked backwards in this way where I had audio and then I had the visuals to go along with it. And my visuals were more than likely B-roll. So it wasn't an exact matchup of that audio. It was more of explaining what I'm talking about. So we were able to kind of just walk through what that looked like. So, and when we started as well, like, my video was way longer than audio. So we're starting to make a little progress where things are a bit trimmed and, in alignment with both video and audio on both tracks. I was able to just kind of listen in to see if I made any mistakes. I still am going to scrub over because the worst thing to do is export all of this and the final product has something that's not supposed to be there. And you upload it and you have like views on there already and you're like, man. But yeah.
So some views and some comments are coming in as well.
Yes, exactly. So,
yeah, it's did I want to put this take? Oopsie doodle.
Exactly. Then you gotta apologize first in the description, like, hey guys, I'm sorry about, you don't want to do that. So, editing is a lot of using your eye, especially your creative eye, to see if things look good in this place, or if, tomorrow we might talk a bit more about transitions and things like that. But
that's true.
Just making sure. Mm-hmm.
And that's a natural transition to what are we getting into tomorrow? We're going to continue with this project, but where are we going next?
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to be just taking it, going over it, making sure everything is good. And then we're going to go into titles. Like, what am I saying? How is it matching up to the audio itself? Like, what can I pull out? Kind of like in one of those videos we saw where Jason said, subscribe, and someone put the words there. I like stuff like that because it makes the experience even more engaging. So we're going to pull out a few things and add some words to it using titles. And then we're also going to probably add some transitions. We're going to play with presets. We're going to do a few things tomorrow. Today was really foundational, just lining everything up, importing that content, and sharing like how you come about creating something like this, and keeping your objective in mind. So for me, making sure that at the end of this video, someone can set up a simple, small video set in a small space, and they're able to use either natural light or artificial light. They're able to have different options for what they would like to do, but giving them the essential tools and tips to do so.
Awesome. And hopefully we've given everybody there a lot of good tips, a lot of options for their editing. This has been a great time. There's a big full day of more things on Adobe Live happening today. We've got more creative challenges. We've got people are jumping into Illustrator. They're getting into InDesign. People are going to be doing XD. A lot of that going on today. And at the end of the day, we're pitting two designers against each other for your amusement. So hopefully that is going to be good for people. So specifically, here we go. Get it up on my screen so I can see. We got. Let's see, we are the 9:30 slot. So we've got the creative challenge with Julia coming up next in Illustrator. Then we've got editorial design with Ashley Armstrong. Then we've got your XD creative challenge. We got draw along with Kyle T. Webster. And then Voodoo Val is going to be designing it off with Emmy from Good Rad Funny. Of course, Voodoo Val, pretty undefeated. So it's going to be tough go. But XayLi, thank you so much for spending your time with me here. We're going to be back tomorrow, right? So people want to continue on with this. But if people want to get more of you in their life right now, where can they find you on the internet? Where can they can see more of you?
Yeah, I'm at XayLi Barclay everywhere. So that's XayLi Barclay everywhere.
Awesome. And I'm, of course, Evan Abrams. You can find me at EC Abrams around the internet, but it's maybe, I don't know, unless you really like After Effects, but in which case, but
follow Evan. He's awesome. Like I can say we're friends, remember? Yeah. So yeah.
it's great. This is why I love doing this. I love hanging it with new people, love hanging with people in the chat. So good people of the chat. We hope we see you tomorrow for more. We hope you stick around for the rest of the day. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, now's a good time to come over to behance.net/live because that's where the real party's happening. thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.